it's hard, like, not seeing myself. It's like that. It's right there, but I can't see it over there.
Are you like conceited or like you just
Why would I be conceited? Because you see, if you ever do shows on news, they have a TV that's in front of them. They can see themselves, and it helps them, a little bit better. Yeah. This is on the side of me, so it's like it's kind of, in a way, it's like making me want to look that way, but I know it's not there. Gotcha. It's there. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm used to doing stuff on like the news. Nothing against your podcast.
It is. You already established that. You know what I'm saying? We'll just go. I'm a little. I'm really above the news. To be honest, I'm
Definitely.
Gonna just go there.
Yeah,
you
that's
know
what I'm here.
Look,
you know what I mean? People ask to come on my podcast. I'm like, yeah.
Well, it's only been 2 years since I asked you like 2 years ago.
Your schedule is crazy. You want people to come during working hours. You see, I come in working clothes. I got to leave work to come talk to you. So if I do that, that must mean I fuck with you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. 11 o'clock on a Thursday. Not 6 p.m., 11 o'clock in the morning. Okay, let's do this. We recording?
What they say, the early bird get the worm or something like that?
No, the early bird is 6 a.m. This is 11 o'clock, meaning I have to leave work to come to your podcast.
I appreciate you.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
Just want to make sure that's on there.
What?
That I took off work to come to your podcast.
I'm glad that I'm worth it.
There's other people's podcasts I wouldn't do that for. Absolutely not.
Say them. Who?
No, I'm not going to say no names.
Okay, I just want to know what Ray I'm getting today. That's it.
No.
That's it. That's it. I just wanted to know which Ray I was getting today.
Good guy.
We're just going to jump straight to the awards, right?
Oh, so this is how you introduce the show? You just start talking?
I just want to ask. Yeah. Okay. They already know who you are. We don't need to
So you don't say, no, this is such and such podcast. You just jump into the questions.
Evan, you've never seen any of my podcasts.
I have, but
I've never, ever introduced a guest. Now, if you want me to do that for you, we could.
Yeah, I want you to do that.
Hey, guys, how you guys doing today? It's 11 in the morning. Mr. Ray the Jerk, I don't know if he goes by the Jerk anymore.
I don't. I gave that up 3 years ago. Thank you.
Actually, I let him introduce himself, but I got the man of the city. You know what I'm saying? Ray here. And man, I would like for him to introduce himself though, actually, because I won't do enough justice. I think he would be able to really hone in on who he is and who I got in here. I truly appreciate it. He came in here doing work. He left work to be here, y'all.
Yeah. So let's cut that short. Kansas City, it's your boy Terrell Ray. You know who I am, the creator of Kansas City People Choice Awards, creator of Our Children, Their Future Empowerment Programs. You know, we trying to do big things in the city. I left my 9-to-5 job to come be on this podcast at 11 o'clock in the morning. No other podcast for the most part can get me to leave my job to come do a podcast. So shout out to my guy, Nick. It's all love. It's been all love. Fuck with him, fuck with me.
I love that. I love that.
Don't edit that part either.
I sent you the extra money. We're going to have to do a lot of editing. I see this now. The awards show.
The awards.
What made you do it, first off?
So I'm going to go back. June 2019. Sitting on my bed watching the BET Awards as we do as family. And we talk stuff about the awards. And, I'm thinking, Kansas City needs an award show. Hop on Facebook the very next day, and I see this post the very next day, and it says, we need a Kansas City award show. The only person who will be able to pull it off is Terrell Ray. Who said that?
I like you. I ain't liked you 90% of my life, but I like you. He trumped me, man. I really wanted to get into that too.
Yeah.
Nick B said this during the award show, actually.
Yeah.
BET award show was going on. And yeah, that's exactly what I wrote. That's not why you started it, though.
That's not why I started it, but I saw it the next day.
Okay.
And I was just like, okay, somebody believes in me to say, out of all the people, I'm not a big promoter. You could have tagged anybody. And for the people that's watching, Nick is the one who said it. You could have tagged anybody in that post that was making moves, but you chose me. And because of that, I'm like, somebody believes that I can actually do it. Even telling at the time I was in the bed with my girl, and I'm just like, I could do this. Kansas City really. So the ideal of it came from the BET Awards,
Yeah.
but I definitely felt like Kansas City deserved their own award show. Not to say no one before me was doing it, because there was a lot of conversations about that. Yes, there were award shows before Kansas City. There's still award shows going on now. But since we have been in existence, the Kansas City People Choice Awards, there is not an award show of this magnitude at all in Kansas City. That's not to take away from anybody else, but we recognize, we honor a lot of people, a lot of movers, a lot of change makers in this city. So that inspiration came just for like the BET Awards. You see them giving out best rap album, best rap song, and then you also show them giving love to the people who make changes in lives, and the Lifetime Achievement Awards and the humanitarians. So I wanted to mimic that same type of concept for Kansas City to recognize our people.
So within seeing that post, did you be like, were you already in thoughts of it, or was you like, you know what, he might be on to something? I think we could. What was your next thought after that?
Never thought about it until that day. That night was the first time I ever thought about an award show. Ever. Never had any conversation with anybody with an award show. I did go to Las Vegas with Joseph Thomas, Joey Cuts, to where the Hoodie Awards, he won Best Barbershop. But at that time, that was like 2008, I believe, 2009, somewhere around there. I'm not thinking about no award show then. You also got to think about the state of the city was not in a support mode back then in 2008, 2009. You fast forward to 2019, that shifted a great deal. So that thought of an award show made more sense now in 2019 than it would have in 2009. I don't think it would have survived 1 or 2 years. So that thought was just literally at the moment watching the BET Awards saying, hey, I can do this for our city. And then from there, 2 months later, we had the first award show.
That was 2 months later?
2 months later in August 18th, 2019.
Yeah, because we had just started our pod. We had just kind of got together with our pod.
Yeah, save it for the podcast.
Save it for the pod.
Yeah.
Who won the first award, by the way?
Mm-hmm.
We had just linked up, though.
Yeah.
All of us didn't know each other all like that. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So once it helped kind of mold us and be like, hey, man, we got something to really kind of go after right now.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of us wanted to go. A couple of us like, nah, I'd rather win it naturally. I'm like, if it's something to win, let's win it. You know what I'm saying? But I say that, let me rewind all that. Where I feel like you did a good job at, and a smart move, I don't know if somebody helped you with this thought because this is fast, to make it the people's choice, right?
Mm-hmm.
And not, just because it's the people's choice, that does not mean that you're the best. If you win, that don't mean you're the best.
Exactly. Just means you'll vote.
People's choice.
No, that was all me.
Explain your thoughts on making that opposed to, let me do some homework, let me figure out who's the, because that's impossible to really, that's unrealistic.
Yeah, with Kansas City, one thing that we're always going to get, regardless if it was a panelist picking people or the people, we're going to hear that popularity word thrown around. But if I know for a fact that we have went towards a panelist decision into picking people, we would miss a great deal of people out there in Kansas City that we don't know. So the easiest and the best way to do it is to allow the people to nominate, because there could be someone that has a podcast I've never heard of, which if we look at this award show this year in the nominees, there are a lot of people in there I did not know exist, which is one thing I love about what I do, because I can connect with these people now. But giving the people the choice to nominate, to vote, to pick who wins, to me, that's fair versus a panelist. Let's say I have 7 panelists on there. What if someone on that panel have an issue with one of the finalists and they say, oh, I'm not voting for them because of a personal issue? That's not fair to them. But the people, you got your support system, you got your clients, you got students, whatever category you're in, all they got to do is vote for you. The people who don't like you, cool, they ain't got to vote for you. Vote for whoever you want, but you still got enough support system that can get you to the victory, versus people choosing that. On top of that, say, for example, best hairstylist. Well, 7 people sitting in a room, can't determine who the best hairstylist is if you never went to all these people to get a real idea and opinion of their services. You're going off their name. So the people's choice makes sense.
Let me ask you this. I don't know. You could answer this. You don't have to. Some of the prior winners who's won,
Mm-hmm.
have you had any issues with certain people that's won, right? I'm getting somewhere with this.
Yeah, I have, personally.
So I hear this a lot. He's rigging the winners.
Yeah.
If that was the case, them people wouldn't win, right?
It's people on the show this year that I don't necessarily like their business, how they handle business, but they're finalists. And I don't allow that to keep them off of what people are voting for. You know, when they say rigged, why would I rig it when there's nothing to gain? It's not like they're winning $1,000 and I'm saying, hey, if I let you in, you give me $300. There's nobody giving them money. You're getting a trophy.
And what I said, if I was to rig something, I would rig somebody who hasn't won.
Yeah.
It would make more sense because it's bringing more numbers, more sales to the people who haven't won. Why would I bring in
people I know?
And if I already won,
You know?
what I don't get anything out of that because they're going to go anyway.
Yeah.
So the goal is to get other people, not even just to say that's the goal, but
no,
if
that
I
is
was
the goal to keep growing it. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. In a business standpoint, I would get people who has not won.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make sense. Now, maybe at the beginning I would rig it. Me.
Yeah.
If I was to rig anything, it would have been the first one.
Yeah.
Now after that, but just rig is just ridiculous when you got to prepare. I'm gonna say this because I was a part of the shows and how much BS comes. I'm not gonna say BS, but like everything that comes with it. I don't have time to sit here and rig it when I'm worried about trying to have a good show.
Exactly.
There's other stuff I got to worry about, and people don't understand that.
Way bigger. Yeah.
When did you stop worrying about the rig thing?
The rig thing actually never bothered me. The main thing that bothered me was just the lack of knowledge about the award show, where people they created their own ideal of how the award show ran. They would never had a conversation with me, never had a conversation with people that may have even known, like nominees. No, they just come up and say, I've put in all this work. Well, I'm not on the award show. And then you start saying it's a popularity contest, start saying it's rigged. Those are the things that bother me more.
My bad, not to cut you up. It is a popularity contest. It's the whole point.
Yeah. And I've always agreed with that, you know, because in order for you to be successful, you become popular. That's anybody. You become popular. Nobody is really working with people that is unknown. You'll get there one day, but of course you always start off, every single person that's in any type of industry, you start off as, like the NFL say, a rookie. You work your way up and then you start making those millions because you become popular. That's the same way with the award show. So after, I want to say we're in year 7. I want to say about year 4, year 5, I started tailoring my responses into more, let me help them understand versus being defensive. Because 1, 2, and 3, oh, you say something about the awards, I'm firing back. And, you know, and I was always, we can meet up wherever. But then I start realizing that there are individuals that truly want to know more about it, that want to see how they can be a part of it. So let me help them because that's my job to do so. But the ones who's talking shit about it and making these negative comments, I pay you no mind. You know, you're doing it for likes now. You know what I mean? You're doing it because your page is monetized and you want to get people on your show, on your page, because without talking about the awards, you get no recognition.
Do you think these last 7 years, do you think you affected the climate, the climate in Kansas City the last 7 years?
Of course.
And I say that to say because it was hella shit going on, I feel like, right? And the awards made people kind of level up during the whole year.
True.
To even just get this, not even just to get the award, but it made awareness to a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
Right? And I see it. And I see more money getting put into what people do.
All the time.
Leveled up people's lives. Like, bro, the first year you did it, we won. I was in charge of the speech, right?
Yeah.
I went up there and said, man, y'all know we was going to win this shit, and dropped the mic.
Oh man.
Not realizing how selfish that is to somebody's. This is an award show. It's a lot of people looking at this.
Yeah.
So it could have fucked your choice of like, bro, why would you?
Yeah.
They weren't cool. You know what they was gonna do, but this is the stuff we dealing with.
Right. Now, and it was speeches like yours that made me say I need to clean some stuff up.
Yeah.
It wasn't just yours. It was a lot. Year one, I really look at it as that learning point.
Yeah.
You put it out there. Let's learn from it. But a lot of people had fun. Like what you did. You was up there. You was cocky. You was like, "Hey, we the best podcast." Yeah, nothing wrong with thinking that. But there were so many other people like you that delivered speeches that said, "We got the best, whatever, such and such." And I said, you know what? Let me clean it up a little bit. Not that you have to take that away, but let's remove the profanity out.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Let's not make it feel like we shitting on anyone when we deliver our speech. Because like you saying, we don't want people to we don't want them to feel like what they have done with their work is gone for nothing. Because that's not what the awards is about.
As an adult, like that's not even a way to carry yourself.
Yeah.
So it helped me grow. This is just me speaking from my experiences for the awards. That helped.
Yeah.
In hindsight, when you're looking at it now, even during the thing, we were competing with people we fool with. I don't really never want to be in that. Because if I'm competing, it's fuck you. You know what I'm saying? So understanding the awards is like to big up everybody. It's not really a competition.
Yeah.
It's to big up everything we got going on. We can be way bigger than this. And that first year at top, I'm like, bro, I was tripping. Yeah. But at the point in my life, I was on some whole other shit at life, so it help you kind of grow up. And everybody's watching. You don't know who's watching.
Yeah.
So now I'm not about to get on that pod. And I know they doing this. And this is some people who probably could even help us. And then you represent everybody. Remember, they was so pissed. Like, bro, why would you?
Yeah.
Like, nigga, I was scared, thought we was going to lose, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we just having those conversations now. And it was just...
But that's good to see, though, because if you look at year one, there's maybe right now, year 7, there's maybe only 1 or 2 people that's a finalist 7 years later. There's a lot of businesses that have closed since the first year.
Yeah.
There's a lot of businesses that have opened since the first year. And a lot of those businesses, they come out and they say, I want the People's Choice Awards. I've had people make posts say, I'm coming for this award. That's a great feeling to know I created that and people are actually looking forward to this. They are, doing their business, taking care of business, doing whatever out here in Kansas City. But in the back of their mind, they're saying, I want the Kansas City People's Choice Award.
Has that helped you keep it going, if that makes sense? Because I imagine you're like, bro, I'm done with this shit.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, because always hearing support helps. After that first year, man, I was defeated. We had that fight at Purcell High School, and it's like, why can't Kansas City ever get it right? Why do we always have to destroy the good stuff? And I was defeated. As much fun as we had at the award show, I was defeated and was like, bro, what do I do? But I kept it going because of so much positivity, going on Facebook and people tagging me in comments and Terrell, keep it going. This was beautiful. Don't let such and such, don't let this. I'm like, yeah, I need that. You don't realize how much positive feedback, how much love you need until you actually need it.
Yeah.
Until you're defeated, till you're broken. And the words from the community, a lot from people who do not know me, was like, I can't wait till year 2. And I said, bet.
And like, were you going through it in life at that time? I'm not going to say going through it because I feel like you did this award show. It was off the cuff. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It was fast, right? Mm-hmm. So within that, we don't know what else you was already going through to help you. Like that probably helped you. You know what I mean? Push along.
At that time, I wasn't going through anything, but I will say the award show has helped me with my patience. That is something that I struggle with all my life, is being patient. And it has helped me, be patient, learn when to hold my tongue, learn how to respond to people, because Ray the Jerk, I just want to go off. But Terrell Ray, the creator of the Kansas City People's Choice Awards, it's my duty to represent the awards in a professional manner to where I have to tone down what I'm saying because like me and you, we can banter and talk shit, but the next person, I can't do
do the
that
same
with.
thing with you.
And they can't do it with me. So I have to literally take that in perspective, be like, okay, I have to give them two sides. The jerk is still in me. I just don't go by it. But the jerk is still in me. I want to represent the awards because the founder, the creator, I represent all the people that's a part of the award show. And that's 365 people this year.
Let me ask you this too.
You know,
How many people do you have on staff for the awards?
it's about around 10 of us total. Yeah. A lot
Everything
of them
going online, right?
Yeah.
I really never hear. You might respond. Nobody else ever really responds, right?
Yeah,
Do
staff
y'all
is
have a
fun.
group meeting to where like y'all be like,
I
or do
tell
they
them.
just understand the assignment? Like,
Yeah, we've had a conversation years back to just say, hey, don't never respond to negativity. Let me handle it. Because I don't want them to be brought into something I created and they go out defending and now they are involved and getting dragged. And you know how social media is. They don't play fair. I don't want nobody, kids brought into it. We're talking about an award show, but you know how they get. So I tell them, let me handle it. And my staff do that. You know, they take care of business. When the award show comes, that's when you see them behind the scenes at the doors. Dondra, that's my right hand. She makes sure everything is running smoothly. That's what it's about. It's not about going out and you know, trying to make people understand what's going on. No, let me do that.
the awards is July 27th. Right?
July 27th.
When do you start preparing for the next one?
So once we wrap up July 27th, I take about a month off. Don't do anything with the awards. I just sit back, allow people to embrace and love. I take that opportunity as well to just read the comments, read feedback, if there's anything that I can improve on. I don't do anything about a month or so. Take a vacation as well. Then around November, December, we right back at it because we have to start looking for sponsors for that next quarter. And that's something with sponsorships. You don't want to wait till the last minute. You want to reach out to them in advance because some of them plan by the quarter. And then there's some black businesses that will just say, oh, I got this money to throw your way. So I start about late November after Thanksgiving. So December, start looking for sponsors. And then we start that process in April as far as the nomination. But it's a long process from December till July.
No way to rig. It's too much shit to worry about.
Too much. Especially at this level. We at the Kaufman
7
Center.
years, bro.
Yeah.
7. So to rig something, I just want to keep, he ain't going to say it, but I'm going to touch on this rig stuff because it comes to me too, and I have to defend it. You know, I don't have to.
Yeah, but you choose
but
to.
I do because I've been a part of the awards, and I just see further than certain things. And then, like, the awards help me keep doing this, what I'm doing, bro.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have did this if it wasn't actually Kiki. I did a pod with Kiki, and I was just rapping, just doing it. I never took it seriously. Like, nigga, take that shit serious. Took it serious. It's just stepping stones to life to where it make people like, yo, you know, I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah.
Awards was one. The biggest one, to be honest.
Yeah.
I was in a point in life I didn't really care. I knew I had some, but you know, you go through so much shit, you just don't.
Right.
You get lazy. My pops had died, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's rewind. I sent you an album.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This is true story.
Yep.
I can't make this. I ain't even told him this shit. Maybe. I don't know if I told him this. So my pops, I did an album called Big Homie.
Mm-hmm. Still listen
Was
to
it
it.
Big Homie?
Yeah, Big Homie. Because they had that outro.
Yep. So I did Big Homie, sent it to him maybe a month or two before I even dropped it.
Mm-hmm.
He never responded. All right. Pops had passed. We had my pop's funeral on his birthday. I dropped the album on his birthday. That day I was out looking for clothes to put on to go to the funeral. You called me. I'm like, what the fuck is this nigga calling me for?
Yeah.
You know, not like that, but it's like, Ray, don't call me, something going on. He was like, yeah, we'll do this. I listened to your album. Motherfucker fire. I would like to know if you want to perform at the People's Choice Awards. I did. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Big Homie album was personal. I'm like, what songs? First off, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
what songs do you hear me performing off of that? Man, I really like the last one. That one, and then like shit, the last one for real.
Yeah.
That was about Pops.
Yeah.
That it was the day, it was the day of the funeral you called. You don't even notice.
I didn't.
So it was God's time, and I'm like, man, what? And he was like, man, I really like to respond to people's stuff when they drop it.
Yeah.
That's what you told me.
No, it was a hard album. You know, a lot of people had me listen to they music, and I don't like a lot of people at all.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, friend, not friend, it don't matter. I'm gonna tell you. But listen, that album, I told you, even then, it's one of the hardest albums in Kansas City. That outro, still to this day, I listen to. I mean, the intro and the outro, it was just like perfect. How it comes in, and then you got the songs in between, and then how you exit, and it was just like a masterpiece. To where I was like, dang. This is hard. You know, he put his foot in. And I ain't gonna lie, I never looked at you like I was about to say vocalist,
Artist.
an artist like that. I was like, oh, nah, this is actually good. So with the awards, people think, oh, anybody can perform. And it's like, no, everybody can't perform. You know, what's your content? It ain't about having an audience. It ain't about how many YouTube views you get. What's your content? Is it going to make people remember your name? And when I heard that album, that's exactly what I felt. Like, oh, they're going to feel this because I ain't felt it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why I reached out to you. Not because I know you. I know plenty of rappers. They're not a good fit for the awards. It's nothing personal.
And not even that from what I already did.
Yeah.
I already burnt the bridge. I already with the drop in the mic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, what made, can't be nobody but God. This is on my, I swear to God, bro, this is on his, the day we buried him, bro, you called. I'm like, this, what song?
It's a blessing.
What song? Couldn't make it up. You know what I'm saying? So then after that, I'm like, I gotta figure out how to make this 5 minutes
work for you.
Gotta not even just work for me, work for you now, because now I'm representing the awards and Ray.
Right.
So I'm going to go get extra. My pops played the saxophone and the drums. So that's why I was extra, that I went and got the saxophonist, got the jars of paint, whoop this. Marley talk shit about that, say he was the first one to do it. My bro, why would you do that to me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was bigger than just what it was. I never seen him do it. But it was a good representation of Kansas City, bro. And it was a different respect after you did that. Because you held on for months before you said anything.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you did it, why you did it, but it was crazy that you did that. You know what I'm saying? So it was, I never got to tell you that.
No, that's what's up.
So I definitely appreciate you. So the awards hold something to me different now.
And that's what we want with everybody, no matter the reason. We want them to, people love to win. They want to say, hey, I have the trophy. They love the awards. You talk about year 1, year 2, year 3, the support wasn't necessarily there like it is now. Now it's a household name where people really look forward to going, dressing up, and also taking that trophy home. It means something to them. And that's what matters more to me than anything else is I got to represent Kansas City. That's why you don't see me at Purcell no more. I could be one of those janky promoters and go to the cheapest venue and put this award show on. Want to know why we lasted for 7 years? Because of that growth. Would you want to keep going back to Purcell High School?
No.
At all. And it doesn't even represent me. Purcell was just a rush job.
And it makes you be like, man, I wonder what he's going to do next year.
Yeah. It's a rush job in Purcell. And now I have time to put my foot in it. I got months to plan to go from Purcell to Kaufman. You know how many of us have never been in Kaufman, Nick?
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful arena. I've never been in there since till last year.
Or been drove past there.
Yeah. I always wondered what this building was.
Yeah,
why is it slanted like that?
I went to graduation. My brother graduated from
beautiful. The Kansas City Orchestra is in that building. The Nutcracker Prince is in that building. Now the Kansas City People's Choice Awards is in the Kaufman because of 7 years of growth of mistakes that we make, mistakes that people make, because of the love of the Kansas City People's Choice Awards that allowed us to keep growing, keep developing, even with the negativity. It's like, okay, I want to hear that. Because sure, you want to hear positive, but there's always room for improvement. That's what we build on.
Let me ask you this too then. Can you live now that you're the awards guy now, right?
Yeah,
How do you separate that from your life now?
you can't. Everywhere I go, people bring it up. And I love it. I'm not one of those cocky individuals, but you're the one that no, I'm not cocky.
Okay.
I'm not cocky. I'm arrogant.
Gotcha.
But I was arrogant before then. That was my personality. But I'm not one of them people like Hollywood. I should say Hollywood.
I got you.
I'm not a Hollywood be like, I ain't talking to you. No, people would tell you every time they see me, I talk to them, I introduce myself, like I'm friendly because I know what I represent and I know why they're speaking to me. And I love it. So it's impossible to separate personal life from the awards life. It's kind of similar like celebrities. You see them out walking in the mall, you gonna run up and want to take a picture. You see your favorite celebrity. Well, I'm not saying people doing that with me, but some people are at the same time. And it's an honor. It is truly an honor. God put me in this position. He put me in this position, not nobody else. He put me in this position because he knew I can handle the trials, the tribulations, and also the success that comes with it to where I wasn't going to turn on my people. I got asked, would I have a celebrity perform on a podcast? And I said no, because the Kansas City People's Choice Awards is about Kansas City. We are the celebrities, and I'm going to always stick to that. We can go to T-Mobile Center and someone can hit me up. Yo Gotti can hit me up, and I'm going to say no. Come have a seat and watch us.
So has the awards helped you grow as a person then?
Big time. Big time. Yeah.
Was it more of a blessing? Because I feel like you were already strong before the 7 years, right? Whatever you went through, got you. It bottled you up into like, you know how to handle this, that, and third, and you're gonna give this, that, and the third as well.
Yeah.
You kind of even kill with maturity, asshole, heart. That's not really hard. I mean, that's not really easy. Most people lean to whatever they're gonna lean to. What kept you smart and strong? Do you move better when the heat is on, if that makes sense there?
Now I do. You know, before I was just going with the flow. You know what I'm saying? We younger, we like whatever. You know, the crash out, all that stuff they use now. Well, we were already doing that in our younger days. And it's like, I represent something. I can't move like I used to move anymore. So that automatically should grow you, should mature you. If it doesn't, I shouldn't be the person, I shouldn't be the face of the awards, because who wants to come to an award show and respect it if the creator's out here acting a plum fool? Yeah, they're gonna be like, oh, hell no. That's why people come, because of me. You know, not saying,
no, what you're saying.
Not saying because of me, but because I'm a good representation of it all. You know, I'm not going to jail. You don't hear no stories about me. No, I'm a good representation. So people can respect that. Do some people dislike me personally? Sure. That's of course. You know, they didn't like Jesus. And I take that with the support. So I got 300. You seen the movie 300? You got yourself
up there with Jesus?
No. I said they didn't like Jesus. So it's like, if everybody didn't like Jesus, I can't expect everybody to like me.
But you on the scale of Jesus, though? You think you up there with him, though?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
Close to it, though.
Jesus. Not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
I'm here to do his work.
Let me ask you this. When did you are you saved?
Yes.
When did you get saved? So
I originally got baptized in 2016.
Okay.
But at that time, I didn't take it serious. You know. Still played around with Christianity and what I wanted to do in my life, which way I wanted to go. I took a step back. And then just 3 years ago, it's when I made the ultimate commitment to fully give myself to the Lord and also make changes within my life. That's not only going to benefit me, it's going to benefit my kids, it's going to benefit the awards. And so that's when I feel like I became saved, not when I got baptized, but when I actually truly devoted myself to making a change and following God's guidance.
Did something happen, or you just...
Nothing happened. Just woke up one day on my birthday and said, I'm ready to change. And that's the thing with black men. They always say black men don't change, or they're dying, or they're about to go to jail. That's why they changed. No, I'm still free.
Were you still healthy, being who you were?
That's it.
Really?
It. Mm-hmm. Just said, I don't want to be that person anymore. And I said, I'm going to change. And look, changing It's easier said than done because you're still going to have people that's going to hold you to who you was. You got people who's going to test you. And as you asked earlier, how did the awards change you and help you? That was a big part because how I respond to people is way different now. You check my Facebook, how I respond to people today versus then, you'll see that growth yourself.
Yeah, because you can go live and kind of embarrass somebody.
Yeah, at all. And
You know
I
what I'm
would
saying?
have and named them.
And get 100 every time. I'm like,
Yeah.
and that's what made me even think about like he's the. Let's rewind. How'd you get your? I'm not gonna say fan base, but how did you? Were you doing parties or something beforehand? How did you get the audience that you have?
So, like, even before social media existed, I worked at the Landon at Music Land. So a lot of people knew me from there. They knew me from parties as well. So when social media came, I used that to my advantage to where I start hosting parties and stuff, getting my name out there, showing up for people. One of the biggest things that I've done was show up for people, because if you want them to support what you're doing, you got to show up for them. I had no idea because I showed up for so many people before the awards. All of that came back and rewarded me. Yeah, because of the work I put in prior. Terrell, come here. Ray, come here. And when I say I was wearing myself out, I was nonstop getting invited to places and showing up. And now people, they question just like that. Why do so many people come to the award show? It's because of that work that I put in, that networking I put in, that support and that love that I showed other people. And now they're giving it back.
What got you to doing that though? What made you show up for everybody?
Just my own personal agenda, wanting to be outside, wanting to be everywhere, wanting to be where people are, whether if it was the big people, the little people, I just wanted to be there. That's it. It was nothing behind it except for I wanted to be outside.
Really? So I didn't know if it was a reason, like it was you were born in it, or you know what I'm saying? Mama told me to do,
Nope. Just wanted to be outside, If you say that, hey, there's a party over here, all right, cool, I'm coming. If you say there's a networking event, okay, cool, I'm coming. I just wanted to be outside and had no idea about an award show and how me being outside, me shaking hands with people, me creating a personal relationship with the mayor would transpire into today's Terrell Ray.
Okay, let me ask you this. I know I keep saying, I didn't say that like 5 times. Then let me ask you this kind of fire. I'm gonna start using that. What's the biggest blessing you've received, not money wise, but from the awards, or the biggest origin story you can give that you can remember? I'm pretty sure it's a lot of them.
Yeah.
But what's one of the most important ones you received?
Well, the biggest blessing that I received, it wasn't a blessing for myself. It was a blessing for a nominee. She had reached out to me and said that since she was a semifinalist, I don't think she made it to the finalists, but she was a part of the awards. And she told me that she sent a message in my inbox and said she was on the verge of her business closing. This was during COVID. Think about, we survived through COVID. A lot of businesses closed during that time as well. But she reached out and said, man, I didn't know if I was where I was getting money to eat. My business was closing, but me being on the awards has gained me I'm not going to say the amount, but so much money. And that alone for the award show to save her business, to give her livelihood, to help her in life, that's the biggest blessing that I could have ever received from the award show. Yes, I profit from the award show because I pay for the award show. But it's not about that. If it was, in our conversation earlier, if it was about the money, I would go to cheaper venues. I wouldn't go and spend $30,000 at Kaufman. $30,000, 25 at the Midland, there for 3 years. It's about representation and people with those same stories. A lot of them come to me saying, hey, my business has boomed since being a part of it. I got inboxes right now I can read off. That's the blessing for me, because it's saying what I created is helping Kansas City. When they talk about I put on for Kansas City.
Did you talk to God at that time? Like, man, what made you, why me?
No.
You knew you was made for this?
No. Nope, I didn't. I didn't talk to God until a couple of years ago.
Saying what?
Why me? Like you said, before then, it was just I'm going with life. Whatever comes my way, I'm going with it. A lot of pain in my life, a lot of brokenness, and I never understood why me. Why did you give me this? Why did you kill? Why did you have my sister killed? Why did you take my parents away? You know, all of this that really had an effect in my life. I'm like, damn, why me? Why am I still standing after everything I've been through? Why am I still out here doing what I'm supposed to as a citizen, not doing dumb shit? Why me? 3 years ago, I stopped questioning why me. And then my therapist helped me understand why not you. Because God knew you were built for this. He knew that there was things in your life that you needed to overcome. He knew I needed to break Terrell Ray for him to become the individual that I am today. I didn't know that for myself. Like I said, I'm living life based on what I want to do, not how God wanted me to do.
Let me ask you this.
You don't keep saying that, huh?
No, I got two more. It's a lot of funny people here in Kansas City, right? And what I've came to realize is like everything ain't funny.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is something not triggering the funny, but they're
Yeah.
funny. It's something behind why they funny.
Mm-hmm.
You just said you lost both parents and a sister?
Yeah. Well, my mom never been in my life, ever in life. My dad died when I was 12. My sister got killed when I was 20. So I know where you're going with that. Yeah, that funny personality, it hides that brokenness.
How long were you broke? When did the brokenness start?
Oh, as a baby. Growing up, a lot of people, if you grew up with at least one parent, that's good. I grew up with neither parent. And most important parent that we always look to is our mom. Because a lot of times pops is gone. But to not have either one of them, I know for a fact if I had a mom at least, I may not be sitting in this chair. My life would have went a different direction. So now I'm like, wow, I have to play the hand that I was dealt. I got locked up when I was 12 years old. I didn't get out till I was 16. That's something that also saved my life. But you still question, why me? Till later on in life, and you start putting the pieces together to that puzzle, and you say, man, you had this trauma, you had this trauma, you had this happen, you had this happen. Yet and still, here we are having a podcast. I'm free, I'm healthy, I'm giving back to the city. It was all God's way of saying, I got you, come back to me, incomplete, I got you.
So from you were born till 12, what was life?
Hell.
But who were you staying with?
In the projects. Well, I stayed with my mom until I want to say maybe 7. But then after that, my grandma came and got me and my sister because, you know, of course, in the 90s, our moms are crackheads. My mom was a crackhead. I'm not ashamed to say it, but my grandma came and got me. And then from there, I stayed with my dad and her, but my dad was an alcoholic. So it's like he couldn't really take care of us. So my uncle and his wife, they took care of me and my sister. They took a lot of us in, a lot of my cousins in during that time, which now they're also gone as well. But never in life, I don't have any memories of my mom. I don't have any memories of saying Happy Mother's Day, hugging my mom showing me affection, talking to my mom. I have no memories whatsoever regarding that. But even in that trauma, I said, I'm going to use that and I'm going to be the best parent for my kids. You know, I don't smoke or drink. And it's not because my dad died of throat cancer. I just don't like liquor at all, you know. And my dad, he tried his best. When he was sober, he tried his best to be active. You know, we went out there, played basketball, played baseball when he was sober, which was out of a week, 1.5 days. But in that time, I was able to gather a little bit from him. And I still said, hey, my dad tried his best, but that liquor was just had too much control over him. No, I'm not going to do that to my kids. Everything I learned as a kid, I did the complete opposite with my own. And you also said, how was life? I used to walk up to this building when I was a kid with my mom and my sister. Had no idea what it was, Nick, to go eat. I'm thinking we just going to a restaurant. You a kid, you sitting down eating, people around you thinking it's, okay, cool. I didn't realize that was the Salvation Army till later on in life. That I was going to a place because my mom couldn't afford to feed us. So we had to walk from West Penway to 31st in Linwood to eat.
Every day.
Every day. Then we got kicked out because my mom's boyfriend, one of the rules, and I remember this argument they had there at Salvation Army. One of the rules was they would feed us, but the men, if a man comes with us, they have to stay to clean up and wash dishes. He didn't want to stay and wash dishes and help clean up. So they told us we couldn't come back. I still remember that argument. So yeah, I come from a place of pain, a lot of trauma. And while I didn't allow that to navigate my story in a negative sense, I used it to my benefit to become a better person. And I'm not going to say I was just this all-star, perfect individual. No, I did some shit in my life. I did things I wasn't proud of, but that was a part of that brokenness.
So from 12 to 16, what happened that got you in there?
I got locked up for assault, and it was only going to be a light sentence, going to be like 30 days. But they put me in this place called Family Detention Center, went in there, start fighting. They moved me. They said, something's wrong with this boy. He needs to be evaluated. Took me to the hospital. At that time, it was Baptist. Baptist is now gone. Baptist used to be right off Holmes. And they had me evaluated. They was like, no, there's nothing wrong with him. He's just a kid that's aggressive. Send me to another facility. Fight. Every facility, basically, they send me to, I'm fighting. They done shit.
Like it's just happening, or just you just
aggression. As far as like not knowing how to channel, as a kid, you lost your pops. Cause my dad died as soon as I got in, as soon as I got locked up. He died, I want to say maybe a couple of months, 8 months or so later. So I was just an aggressive kid, that did not know how to handle my emotions. That, I wasn't a bully. That was a beautiful thing about me. I was the one that the bullies, when they picked on other kids, I would protect them. I wasn't just coming up to you picking fights. That wasn't me. I was always just a quiet guy, but I was one of them, soon as you push that button, that firecracker lit. So every facility I'm going to, they ship me to St. Louis. They ship me to Nevada, Missouri, which is 2 hours from here. 13 facilities in 4 years that I went to. And it wasn't until I was 16, maybe 15, when I said, I'm ready to get out. I literally told myself, because I was playing basketball at the facility in Nevada, Missouri. And, people was like, bro, you good at basketball, man. We need to get out of here, and football and all that. And I was just like, yeah, I remember that, conversations with staff and kids. And I said, I'm about to get out. And the only way to get out is to correct my behavior. So I stopped all that, showed the courts, hey, I'm able to get out. Got out. My cousin took me in, played 1 year sports. Went to Southeast. My high for points was 19 points. So if I scored 19 points in one game, playing 1 year, imagine what I could have done in 4 years. And that's why I say I may have not been sitting here if I had a mom in my life that guided me and loved me, how she should have. Don't know. But for someone to score 19, and I wasn't a shooter. You see me play. I wasn't a shooter back then. No, I scored all them points in the paint. At 5'9", I'm scoring them points in the paint, going up against the greats of Terrell Johnson and all of them. But Big Kid was after me. Terrell, Mike Watson. He was a sophomore then. Mark Franklin. Yeah, the IL had some heavy hitters.
Shout out to the RB.
Yeah. Matthew Hill. We had some heavy hitters, Michael Freeman, Wu, all those guys when we played, Central dominating. But yeah, I feel like if I never got locked up, I may have not been sitting in this chair.
Have you talked to any of the people from the facilities? Like, have they seen you and what you became now?
Years back I did. So I don't know if you know Shannon Watkins. But Shannon Watkins was one of my youth people. He worked at one of the facilities. And once I got out, he's always just telling me that, man, I'm so proud of you. I actually work part-time now at Hilltop, which is a residential facility for youth. I work part-time there, and one of the staff, Mr. Bond, He was also my youth worker when I was locked up. He's still in the game, still working with kids. I talked to him. He lets me know how proud he is of me. I don't see a lot of youth that was locked up with me. A lot of them, unfortunately, they didn't make it. Some of them incarcerated. So seeing them out here on the outs is very slim, very slim. I've probably seen maybe 3 my entire life since being out. And, just getting word back like, yeah, what happened to some, I'm just like, dang, you know.
We're gonna touch on awards a little bit more. What's the smallest thing people can do that they don't even realize it to
Just,
help? Just to help with the awards is just
with the awards?
Yeah.
Oh, share a flyer, talk about it, be positive about it. That costs nothing. You see the flyer, share it. If you appreciate the awards, talk about it. Combat negativity with positivity. So if he's talking negative, say what you like about it. That costs nothing.
And then within all the awards that's going on in the city, right? You pull up to most of everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Do you have to take that on the chin, knowing people are coming in to try to sabotage or have something to say? And do you take in, or you one of the ones like, oh, publicity is good publicity?
I'm a little bit of both. I definitely take a lot of things on the chin. I was ready to fall out with, radio stations, with the news stations for not talking about the awards. Like, I didn't care. I was going to die for the support of the awards. Not die for real, but you know what I'm saying?
It's crash
Because, I wanted people to take it serious. And if our radio stations can't, well, y'all not for the community. If our news stations can't, y'all not for the community. But I realize that they don't want to see us win. So I got to take that on the chin. They could talk about everything else that's going on. Little Sally got a lemonade stand in Shawnee, but you can't come to a positive event that got 1,500 people in it and do a story on that. I took that on the chin, and learn how. Before, I used to use social media to my advantage because I know if I say something, people gonna back me. And now I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna burn bridges. Instead, let me bring them to the table and let's talk. And that's what I did with radio stations. Because I was hot. They'll tell you I was hot. You talk about such and such, but you can't talk. No, okay. Watch this. But now I said, instead of doing that, I had good friends that would say, no, Ray, don't do that. Do it this way. And I listen. I listen. I said, okay. And I talked to them, and had conversations with the media. And now we have a better relationship to where the support is better. And that's all I've ever wanted because it's not about me. It's about Kansas City.
Is there any reasoning to why they don't support the positive and is that their job to take on just, I'm not going to say negative stories, but did you understand that though? Like, okay, this ain't even
That's something I had to understand exactly what you said. Negative publicity sells. You talk about crime, it sells. It gets people's attention. Oh, we're talking about murder again, or someone got killed on 12th and da. We're paying attention to that. Black positivity, no one's paying attention to that. It's like, oh, okay, I don't want to hear that. Good job, whoopity-doo. I want to hear who got killed. So it's their job to go out in the community and find these stories, talk about crime. But I've always said, well, if you could talk about crime, you can highlight us in a positive sense as well. We're not always about crime. We're not always about murder. We're not always out here stealing and robbing and doing bad stuff. No, we have an award show that you can put on your news station and say, this is what's happening in Kansas City. And if they not willing to do that, then I ain't rocking with you. And I would tell my people don't rock with you.
One of the part of the awards that's real pivotal, right? That's kind of hard to deal with, but you know it's gonna happen. The video tributes.
Yeah.
Do you look at that like, damn, I know next year somebody's gonna be on there that's personally close to me?
Mm-hmm.
Have you looked at it like in that sense?
Yeah.
And more like, damn, we gotta really start championing people while we got them.
Mm-hmm. And what's crazy is, I also thought about, damn, I hope I'm never on that. looked at it in that sense. I said, ooh, you see a lot of people because they don't send their pictures into us. I actually go, I'm gonna say I go on social media and I just see these pictures and I grab them. And that's how we get all the pictures of people is me and Marcus Gladys. He's my graphics guy, MDG, my from Wine Dot. Shout out to him. He's been a part of the award since it started. But both of us say that's the hardest part about the awards because we see so many faces. Not even necessarily we got to know them, but just knowing these are family members of someone who once were here. And then when I first introduced that, I didn't know how the city was going to react because it's such an emotional part. And some people can't take it like, oh, you didn't actually use my family's photo, but they love it. I think we've gotten so much love from that alone than majority of the award show because they like, dang, you included my family member. We try to get as many. We can't get everybody, but we try to get as many. And that's touching to where, Christina Brown died. And she was one of my close friends that I love dearly. And it's just like, man, seeing her up there was like hard. Then I got to put Kiwi on there. He performed at the awards. I'm like, dude, come on, golly, And now this year, there's even more people. Oh my God. But sitting in that audience and hearing the cries, hearing the scream for these people's name, that's love. It's not hurt. It's love because they get that final moment with their family member to say, hey, you are remembered. They remembered you here in Kansas City. We didn't forget about you. And that's what the awards is about.
Yeah, and the appreciation.
Yeah.
Of it. That's why I just look like, man, it's
tough.
It's touching, but it's just like you said, that's a
I
couldn't imagine putting it together.
Yeah, I've cried watching it, And then the people come and sing during it. Like that was probably one of the dopest ideas that I had was to instead of using music, have people come sing. And they tear it up every year. Oof. Yeah.
Is that the hardest part? I know you said it was, but is that literally how do you pick who's going to sing for that then?
I always just go with someone that's very vocally talented because you got to hold it together, one. And then two, you're singing gospel music for the most part or memorial tribute. Mm-hmm. So people will feel that through your words. So I got to pick someone that can sing, that can blow it off the roof to where even though we're looking at deceased individuals, those melodies is keeping me safe. They're keeping me like, oh man, that beautiful tribute. And they going to remember, like last year, it was Ashley and I can't remember the guy's name. Ashley and my bad, but they cut it up. They tore it up to where people were talking about them after the award show. And that's exactly what I want, for them to get that piece of the support,
Damn, I just got a brain for it. I was just about to ask you something. I know you say you changed after your birthday. It wasn't nothing that happened? What made you a lot of people see the change and people don't realize just because I changed, it's not going to happen overnight as well. So you're going to get both like, oh, he changed me. He ain't, he putting on the front.
Yeah.
Have you heard that? And definitely. How do you handle that?
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to go back to just being a black man changing. We're always going to be hit with resistance. It's always going to be why they're changing, what's happening. They're going to jail. Is their health declining? I heard it all. And I'm like, no, I was just someone that got tired of being who I was and I wanted to be a better individual. And then, of course, as you go along, you're going to get hit with those roadblocks. You're going to get hit with people testing you to see. God is going to send out tests. The devil is going to send out tests to see, is he legit? Is he for real? And people whisper and they say that back when I first started. Until now they realize like, oh no, Terrell is a completely different person. And at first I allowed it to get to me to where I wanted to respond. But now, even if I hear something, I don't hear nothing now. But if I did, I just tune it out completely to where it doesn't deserve a reaction. I know what I did it for. I know there was no reward behind it. There was no look at me, no validation needed for my change. It was all personal. There are a lot of individuals, black men, who will die being a scumbag. They would die living as who they want, and hey, that's who they love. Cool. I didn't want to do that. I had caused so much destruction in people's lives that it's like, no, that's not who I want to be no more. And if people can't respect that, then I don't know what to tell you.
So what give you the strength, I guess, from the people to keep doing the awards? Because I know that the awards, is that your biggest test right now then, the awards?
Nah, I would say my biggest test is remaining who I am today.
That's what I'm saying, within trying to do that.
Yeah.
Is the awards hard, or is it you taking this on, you know what?
Oh, no, it's easier now.
Love this. Okay.
Yeah, it's easier now. Yeah. Once you change your entire outlook, how you deal with things, how you handle things, look, it comes easy. You know, I know now who not to respond to, how to respond to them to where it don't affect me. You know, it's like nothing yet y'all say is really going to get my blood boiling, because I see now you're doing it for clicks. You're doing it for clickbait. You're trying to see if you're going to get up under my skin. It's like, oh, now you see it ain't working. Now you're quiet. You know, you look on social media, you don't see as much negativity about the awards like you used to.
Yeah,
and a lot of it was because of me, because I was responding.
Fire to everything else.
Now it's like, oh, he ain't said nothing.
Legs. Yeah.
It's going away. Yeah. Putting the extinguisher to that fire instead of me amplifying it, you know. And now everybody else is getting involved in, like, no, don't worry about it. Put that fire out.
Beyond the awards, what do you think we can do to help? Not only the man, you've been helping the man, just period, help the city from just being so
lead with
negative
love
and divided.
Lead with love. I was sitting in church one day, and my pastor he said this, and I'm gonna share it with you if you don't mind, because it's something that I truly live by, and I want people to also hear it. And it made me a better person. So it says, without love, my words are just noise. Without love, my gifts make me nothing. Without love, my giving gains me nothing. Love isn't a performance, it's a product of intimacy with God. So people watching, I want them to break that down. What does it mean? Without love, my words are just noise. Think about that. Without love, my gifts make me nothing. Without love, my giving gains me nothing. We can lead with love. That's all.
So you leading with that, and wherever it takes you, that's where you're gonna be around the right people.
Yeah.
So you don't take, you don't regret nothing now.
Don't regret nothing.
If you lead with love and it turn negative.
I don't regret it, because I know how to walk away now.
And you know you came into it.
Yeah.
With love.
And I walked away from a lot of things where it's just like, before, it would have went a different way. I ain't arguing with y'all no more. You know?
Is it easy to see when it's not love?
No, because there's so many sheeps in disguise, you know, that they present themselves as support. Even if we talk about the awards, there's so many people that's so happy about it until that finalist list is brought out. And then you see the underhand compliments where they try to be shady. They can't just say congratulations. No, you got to put in your accomplishments, or you got to put down other people because you're not on it. And then say, but congratulations to y'all. But that's not love. A simple congratulations to all the finalists is love.
Lead.
Yeah, lead with love. Like not that. With personal pride. You know, not with envy, not with jealousy, because you were once on it. Now it's someone else's turn. When I first started the show, I said it's maybe only 2 people that's on it from 7 years ago, still to this day. I think just this year alone, there's only 30 people who were on it last year. Out of 365 people, only 30. That's 95% almost of new people. that get to experience the award show. You knew how it was when it was your moment. Let them have their moment.
Man, I be telling people that all the time. Your moment is your moment.
It's your moment. Don't
It's
take
your
that away from
moment,
nobody.
yeah.
Yeah, even when it's my time to go, another award show may come in. Quez, he's created an award show, and I told him straight up, face to face, I love that you created an award show. It's not in competition with the Kansas City People's Choice Awards. You are honoring and recognizing deserving people with no envy in your heart, no jealousy, no competition to say I'm going up against the Kansas City People's Choice Awards. No, he had that in his heart to create an award show to recognize people that definitely deserved it. Anybody can do that. You lead with love, you'll get the support back.
Have you accomplished everything on your bucket list?
No, I still want to get married. That's something I want to do. I never had any good examples of marriage, but I want to get married. And on top of that, I want to be a great husband. I want to be a great husband.
That's what's left on it.
One of the things, not everything, but that's just one of the key things that's left on that bucket list. I've knocked off a lot of challenges in my life. Change was one of them. Accountability was two. People you can't change unless you're accountable. And that was something that I took serious, to where accountability is not an attack against you. It's you saying, hey, I made mistakes and that's okay. I'm human. God knows that you're human. He knows that you're going to make mistakes, but you can't keep hiding in those mistakes and justifying that you're a good person when you make those mistakes. Oh, I did this, but I also helped in the community. No, that don't work like that. You can't go out and feed the homeless, but then turn around and shoot somebody. No, it doesn't work like that.
That's one of the I'm not scared of nothing, really. One of the scariest things now is to live life, but not live it to your full potential.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the things. Like, everybody, I want a six pack. I want this. I want that. But you don't do anything to change you.
Yeah.
Or people don't even reach their climax of life.
Mm-hmm.
So where they can just live and enjoy it. So now when he has so much more to go. Yeah. He has so much more. And I think we got to start focusing on that a lot.
Yeah.
A lot more. A lot of people don't pay attention to that. And that's the scariest thing. Especially seeing these people dying with all their talents and they don't get to.
To what you saying, I got off social media. I'm not on social media as much as I used to because of that very reason. I want to live life. I want to be remembered for what I'm doing, not for what I'm saying on social media, and then not living what I'm saying on social media. So I took that distraction away. I'm still on it. I'm not having deleted anything because, of course, that's the biggest platform to use. But I'm not on it like I used to be, where I was on it daily, posting daily, all throughout the day. I got off of it. I got rid of that distraction. So God can truly use me to his will, his advantage, to do exactly what I'm doing now, spreading that word of the gospel of love. To where whoever's watching this, there's going to be people that's going to say, damn, that's deep. I love it. Then there's going to be people that are going to say, oh, man, whatever, I ain't got to listen to that. And that's okay. Because I turned away from God as well. But then later on in life, he may come back.
You think it's a bigger calling for you?
Definitely.
You know what that is?
I don't know what it is yet. Nope. But I'm allowing God to lead me to where if he says.
But you thought about it like it's something else.
It's something bigger for me. Yeah. If he says this is it for the awards, I'm going to step away.
If you had to step away and you had to put it into somebody else's hands, who are some guys or ladies that you would recommend?
I would say Quez. I would say Tez, comedian Cortez, my best friend Pinky and Kiki, Dondra, all of them I think will be able to handle it good. But if you want me to be 100%, if I needed to step away from the awards, I would probably end it. So that
no. It had to keep going, but you put it in like you're going to come up with not even just your awards, just like you said, Quez.
Yeah,
he's a good representative of the city. He with. He's one of those ones. Who else would you?
Yeah, be those individuals. But if the awards had to end and I couldn't, like health wise, I couldn't, no, because I don't want to lose the integrity of the awards. People come in and make changes, then it's like, oh, what happened to the awards? No, I'd rather for it to die with me, and because during that time I had it, it was love. People enjoyed it instead of it being tarnished later on. Now I would trust these individuals to carry it on, but you also never know what they may do.
And it just ain't the same.
It ain't the same.
Stuff just
Yeah.
don't be
So
the
if I
same.
can't do it, bye-bye awards. If God ever says, I got this greater calling for you, no more Kansas City People's Choice Awards. Let the next awards come up. You're welcome.
You think it'll be? No, I ain't gonna do that.
It won't.
Yeah, but that's why I was.
Yeah.
It won't, because
It
it won't. So, certain things just happen within the time,
Yeah.
and that's just what it is.
Now, it's like Jordan, Kobe,
I was
LeBron.
just thinking about that. I
Another
promised
one
to
will
God I was
come.
about to say that.
They'll compare it, but it's going to be theirs. It's going to be a different city, different people. Would I want it to succeed? Of course. I want everything in the city to succeed, but it's not going to be the Kansas City People's Choice Awards.
Do you think the city moving forward or backwards?
It's moving forward. We are growing. We're thriving. We are supportive. It's moving. Like, I'm so happy to be a part. I wish I was younger so I could still really keep up with the younger generation and making sure they're a part of the awards, which they are. But I know it's because more of social media, not me. But yeah, the city is growing, man. Businesses, entrepreneurship is booming. You know, it's booming. And we coming together. You know, we Kansas City here. You don't want to be here, move. Texas waiting on you.
And what I'm gonna say, so you're gonna take your hits. You know what I'm saying? It's just how you handle them after that.
Yeah, that's it.
I think a lot of people take them hits and they're done.
Oh yeah,
They come with it. That's what's gonna make you stronger.
definitely. 7 years of hits.
Straight
So
up.
yeah, you got to keep going. You know,
So what's next for you, or do you even know?
I don't know what's next for me. You know, if I said I knew, then that would be me guiding my life and not allowing God to guide me. So I don't know what's next for me.
Ever since you've been on the news, bro, you seen media train now, man. That was your answer.
Look, I'm telling you,
Come
that's
on, man.
that growth. You know, you can't say that you trust in God, you know, and you have faith in God, but you're still guiding your own steps.
Yeah.
Now I'm letting God guide me. And I tell people, wherever he sends me, I'm going to go in life. If he tells me I need to go to Phoenix and do an award show, I'm going to Phoenix. If he puts that on me, if he says, hey, you've done your job, because I learned something from Christina Williams, who is the owner, one of the owners of the Black Co. I want to say company so bad, but it's the Black Co event space. Very beautiful. If you've never been, go check it out.
Yeah.
It's in the same building as the Combine off 27th and Troops,
Shout out
29th
to
and
y'all.
Troops.
Christina and Tamara, the most supportive people.
So much. But she said year 7 is the year of completion. And we're in year 7 of the awards. It's not to say the awards is done after this, but never know. Then she said year 8 means the start of something different, of change. And I'm like, wow. So year 7 is completion. Year 8 is change. Who knows what that would represent for myself personally and also for the awards. I would love to have the awards probably for 10 years at least. My goal is to get us to the T-Mobile Center. I get us there, then I may say, you know what? Drop the mic like you do. No lie.
Or that might be the start.
We're done.
That might be the start. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the thing is, once you go to T-Mobile Center, you can't go backwards. So if they not inviting us back every single year, I can't go back to the Midland. I can't go back to Paseo. No, it's a wrap. You know?
That's tough. You got anything to say to the people or anybody?
No, I already said it. You know? I already said it. Pay attention. I dropped some gems up in here. You know?
You talked me up. I heard. I got all the gems. You know what I'm saying?
Talk me out.
And I got to witness this guy for years.
Only the people that really been around can say, oh, that's a different person. The people who's new, they get to see the new me. But the people like you, other ones that's been around, they see that growth. They see that change. You know, those are the people that I lean on to say, well, you see how far I've come. So you understand my journey. You see that, you know, not the people that just always, you know, you don't know me. Trust me, y'all don't know me.
What's the biggest advice you could give anybody?
The biggest advice I would say is always be yourself. Be yourself, and no matter what room you in, no matter who's around, One thing about me that I can say, I've always been myself. When I told you earlier, I don't smoke and I don't drink. I have friends that do. And if my friends did not accept me for that, I would have found new friends. But luckily they did. I didn't have to change who I was ever in life to fit in any room. I didn't have to change up who I am to be accepted. As I told you, I'll go to war against the media outlets because that's who I am, to earn that respect. But it's because of that's who I am. Always be yourself. Don't change up for nobody. If they don't want to accept you for who you are, then it's not for you. If people, you go in and you need this contract, but they don't want to accept for what you're presenting, it's not for you. How you saw the the show Pop the Balloon and Find Love on YouTube. It's a hit. They put it on Netflix and it's trash. But they do that because of the money. That's something I'd be like, no.
It ain't even the same.
Yeah, it ain't the same. And that's people saying, I'd rather chase that bag than be original to my content, what I want to do. Be yourself. If they don't accept it how it is, oh well.
And I will say that too. I would have never drunk ever in life if it wasn't for, not to say they peer pressed me, but I was sports and all that.
Yeah.
So by you not drinking, it's a constant reminder too, like it is people that don't smoke, don't drink. That is the biggest mistake you can do is smoke and drink. You're not you, and the money you waste, and you stunt your growth. You can't progress at all too though, so that is one of the biggest things I respect you on, and not smoking and drinking.
Thank you.
I think you kind of need to promote that more.
Oh, I do. I tell them every platform I get, I tell them, I just did a podcast.
I don't know if it's a shirt or
Tuesday.
something you can make, what I'm saying?
Like, don't smoke, don't drink.
Or something clever with that, because it's a constant reminder for us too though.
Yeah.
And like I said, everybody watching. So, man, DUIs.
All that.
Just everything.
Health.
Just not you. Arguments.
Yeah.
Most of my arguments has been from me being intoxicated.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it.